Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess, and I haven't done a video like this in a long time, and I just thought it would be fun, and it's reacting to 1-star reviews. Now, most of the books I haven't enjoyed. One of them I did, but like I totally recognize that it is not a masterpiece, so I included it in here. I think I have 5 books. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I have 6, and I will put the reviews on the screen. I guess I'll hide the person's name. I don't know. I think they're hilarious, and if you don't agree, don't go find this person's review and like go be an asshat. Like, hello, this is just for fun. So that's what we're going to do. And the first one we're going to start with is the book that I actually liked on this list. I think I gave it 4 stars because I had a good time. Again, I recognize not a literary masterpiece, and that is Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. I get it. It's not like something that's like insanely well written, but did I put that on here? Because I'm looking at some of these reviews and I'm like, wait, that's for something else. But so these made me laugh, and some of them may not make you laugh, but that's not the point. It's about me and what I thought was funny. I'm gonna share it with you because I love you. Okay, that's it. Hopefully my fan's not too loud and the microphone is picking me up. But I felt like wearing this and I gotta turn my fan up because it's not cold enough. But anyway, Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. The same author, so he wrote The Da Vinci Code, and I believe Angels and Demons, The Da Vinci Code, and another one were turned into movies with Tom Hanks. Anyway, Angels and Demons. Oh dear God, please do not read this book. You don't notice what a bad writer Dan Brown is when you read The Da Vinci Code because it is so exciting, but you read this and you want to kill yourself. Forever liking The Da Vinci Code, really. So in order of these books, I think you can, I don't think you have to go in an order, but I did. I started with Angels and Demons. Some people start with The Da Vinci Code, which I think is number 2. So when I read it, Olivia told me not to immediately go into the next one because they are very formulaic. So I've been waiting because I listened to the audio and, you know, I had a good time. But these people are making me rethink. No, actually, I still had a good time, but it's funny. I never thought I would say this, but the movie was better. It was shorter. And I and did some other things right, and most important of all, it didn't leave me with a god-awful ending. Which this would be a spoiler for the ending. The poor woman's father was killed. She saw several fresh corpses and was almost blown up, but all she could think about after all these traumatizing events, she jumps that arrogant nerd dude and tells him she'll make him have a divine experience with her yogi body. Are you kidding me, Mr. Brown? Are you sure that's how you want to end your great mystery novel? And now, by the time we got there, I was like, all right, but still, that's valid. The incredible popularity of this steaming hunk of worthless hackery is evidence of a civilization in decline. And that review was left 17 years ago. And civilization has gotten so much worse since then. Rob, I need to check on Rob's reviews. I would love to see what else he's reviewed, because if he was worried about civilization in decline 17 years ago, oh boy. If he's still with us, I'm sure he's upset. Every time I read a book by a man, I regret. You know, I feel that. I feel that. Those were so good. I still, again, had a good time, but I get it. I understand. Next, of course, is Problematic Summer Romance. I don't know. We have to look at these. I ranted about this book a few months ago. I think I might have given it 2 stars. 1 star. Why did Maya basically chase this idiot the entire book? And Connor, please let me slap him. Girls, stand up. Have some self-respect. Yes! That is what I was shouting to this book the entire time. Stand up, sister! I can honestly say that nothing happened. All these pages for nothing. But then the person said, Allie Hazelwood knew about my nightmares and wrote a book. I guess for the age gap. Allie, I hate to bestow this rating on you, but babe, what was this? I'm genuinely impressed that I found the will to finish this book. The main characters were insufferable. The whole plot, literally the entire plot. is simply age gap. While I appreciated Allie's ability to use the trope in a non-pedophilic way, it sucks. Also, why are we acting like this 38-year-old man is 70 years old? Like, please. At one point, I think she does use the word geriatric. I'm like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. But honestly, babe, what was that? This was not it at all. Connor, I know you're fictional, but if you're reading this, I'm also a STEM girly that would have treated you better than Maya. Someone said this was exhausting. Not to defend a man. Oh God, it's so painful. But he told her multiple times, and for some reason his consent didn't matter. He told her no multiple times. They're both insufferable and he should not have encouraged her, but when he said no, suddenly this is not a complete sentence. Hello? Okay, maybe this isn't funny, but it's honest. Also kind of gross. Connor played a role in helping care for her. The whole thing is just extra weird. Take a shot every time their age gap is mentioned. Both were beyond insufferable, so in some ways they're perfect for each other. Also horrible. Take a shot for every ellipses. And this last one said, my eyes! This book was a travesty from start to finish. She's a nightmare who won't take no for an answer and leave this man alone. He is a loser who can't seem to resist a very young, immature woman just because she's hot, I guess. I just hate that this book reduces the main characters to a woman who is forcing this man to stumble and a man who can't contain his lust. Perfect summation of this book. Also, the dialogue is inexcusable. No one ever say these things. I shit you not. Some of the stuff was, I was like, no. Have you, sometimes when I read smut, I wonder, have some people had sex? And that's how I felt reading this. It's so bad. The whole point of an age gap romance is that she needs to convince him that she's mature enough for him, but she acts like a whiny baby, which I guess still turns him on. It also creeps me out that of course he had been in love with her this whole time, blah, blah, blah. Even though she was 20 when they met, I found this offensive to my eyes and my mind. Same, sister. Same. I'm just, oh my God. If you want some samples of the dialogue, you should go watch my video because it is so cringy. I'm like, even at 23, I don't think I was saying some of that stuff. And then definitely not as a girl. Anyway, I'm not a grown man, but you know what I'm saying. Whew, that book was a mess. On to another. This one, I don't remember what I gave this rating. It made me so sad because it's by Abby Jimenez. It's Say You'll Remember Me, which came out this year. The last 3 books before this, all 5 stars for me. So I thought this would be, it was not. So it's here and we're gonna laugh about it. The irony of Say You'll Remember Me is that I'm doing my best to forget it. Valid, because that was a mess. She swallowed an AirPod because Abby, why would you do that? Someone just said no, and I feel that. I feel that deeply. Yes. This read like an Allie Hazelwood book. Derogatory. And it did. It just did. It felt so different to me than our previous books. So that is an accurate descriptor. I don't want to hear about mustard ever again. If you know, you know. There were so many TikTok references in here. I wanted to die. Please touch grass. It was so cringy. Abby, get off the internet. Actually, you don't have to get off the internet, but we don't need to know how much you're on the internet, sister. We don't need to know. Romance novel? 4 question marks. This made me depressed and not in a good way. That's not supposed to happen in a romance novel, especially not something that's like a rom-com. You're supposed to be happy. This was not a happy book. This book felt like someone speaking to me in TikTok, but when I said, sorry, I don't speak TikTok, they just started speaking louder. It is so online. Oh, it's painful. So many. I already just have beef with contemporary books that put too many like pop culture references in it. It's bad enough when it's like general pop culture references, but a lot of these were specific to TikTok, and that made it worse. And I love TikTok. I do. Were those, I think that was it for Say You'll Remember Me. I guess I went easy on that one. But next up we have, do I have The Familiar? Sorry, my screenshots were separated. I did them in different batches. The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I read this last year. Once upon a time, Leigh Bardugo was among my favorite authors. Then one day, The Familiar found its way into my hands. I mean, she was already on my shit list for Ninth House and King of Scars. But there was a short period of time after I finished Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom where I was like, oh my god, auto by author Leigh Bardugo can write anything and I'll read it. Not anymore. Count me as the unfamiliar. I just hate when people are funnier than me. Drier than a cat's tongue and boring as fuck. How the hell can you make the Spanish Inquisition period this boring? I can't believe this is what Bardugo has come to. Honestly, the Spanish Inquisition vampires, but it was dull, dry, beige, so bad. Now I'm gonna read this. I don't know if I'm gonna read the full thing, and I'm keeping this person's name in because Leanna, hey boo, if you're watching this, but I just thought this. Does this book actually deserve 1 star? Probably not. But when I know an author has talent, but none of it is on display, when I know a premise has oodles of potential and none of it is realized, when I know that cover design and promotion have been lavished on a book because of the author's name and not because any part of the book is deserving of such attention, it brings the 1-star ratings out in me. And that is real. This book is painfully adequate, so forgettably mid, it truly beggars belief. How do you write a fantasy story set during the height of the Spanish Inquisition and make it lifeless? How does the author who gave us Kaz Brecker manage to write characters so devoid of characterization that swapping them out for cardboard would be an improvement? I was considering giving the book 2 stars when it seemed towards the end like Bardugo would actually make a mature choice with the ending, but then she didn't. And here we are with a 1-star rating. I would have said once that Bardugo was an auto-buy author, and technically, literally, I suppose she still is because I continue to extend to her the benefit of the doubt whenever she has a new book coming out. But at this point, I think I have to accept that Six of Crows was the result of a demonic bargain and the deal was only good for 2 books. Yes! 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 Heavy on the, you have the premise, the Spanish Inquisition, fantasy, all, Leanna said it all. I love when you said, the characters are so devoid of characterization that swapping them out for cardboard would have been an improvement. I couldn't have said it better myself, and that's why I had to include that in there, We'll forget in 2 seconds, oh look, already forgot everything in this book. This book makes me question if Six of Crows had a ghostwriter, and that is not a good thing to make readers question. It hurts. It hurts so much. Dull, drab, uninspired. This is simply not good. The Bud Light of the literary world. Yikes. And DNF at 35%, I wish I could be unfamiliar with this. So real. They are speaking, they are just saying everything that I thought. Such a disappointment. Done and dusted. If you've been around, you know I read this book last year maybe, and I had a lot of thoughts about it. It was a reading vlog. Not to be dramatic, but this book made me want to yeehaw myself off a cliff. It's a cowboy romance, so yeehaw myself off a cliff. Oh, god damn it. I hate who that's by. Who left that? From this book, I've learned that PTSD, panic attacks, and ADHD are no match for sexy cowboys. Never mind therapy, apparently. All you need is a good dickin'. DNF, if Luke called Emmy sugar one more time, I was gonna throw my Kindle across the room and reel. But I had the physical book. And in my mind, I kept reading sugar. Although they were in Wyoming, I don't know what the accent is, but it was too much. It was too much. DNF at 85% because of the line, Luke, I'm in like with you. I feel like that speaks for itself. It's so bad. They said, I'm finally free, and the cartwheel emoji sent me over the edge. This was so bad and boring. Emmy and Luke fell in love so insanely quick, and I don't know, but I didn't feel their connection. It was so insta-love lust. And this Luke, he gave me nothing but the biggest ick on the planet for real. He calls her sugar, and I hated it. And he wears muscle tees. The emoji placement is excellent in this. I liked Emmy's character, but wish that we focused on her accident more. Thank you, Luke, for ruining my expectations for cowboys. honestly. And if y'all remember about that goddamn whiskey in mouth, I literally threw my book across the room because that pissed me off. Save yourself from reading this. Ride a Cowboy. DNF at 25%. The writing is so bad that the dialogues are horrendous. There's no character development. I need to stop taking recommendations from Instagram. That's how I feel when I get recommendations from TikTok. Respectfully, save your time and brain cells and read any other rom-com. This is giving Wattpad at its worst. So much repetition in dialogue and description, lazy dual POV that cover the same events multiple times, no chemistry of substance. I feel like a lot of contemporary rom-com writers just do not read outside of their niche genre, and it really hurts their writing. Such a shallow book that wasn't even cute, snarky, or fun. Wish an editor was actually present. The main conflicts of the book are resolved with such minor consequences across like 3 paragraphs. I'm only giving a shout out to the cover designer because they got me to read this book. Take a lemon drop shot every time the phrase best friend's little sister is used. Do love the cover of this and of the series, but me and Lila Sage. Is there a book like this but like well written? No worries if not. But if you do have a good cowboy recommendation, I would like that. And Jesus Christ, you are pathetic. Couldn't have said it better myself. The only reason this book even got a rating was because of Teddy and Gus. And that is on that. So real. Lastly, we have Butcher and Blackbird. I DNF'd this hot mess of a book. Let's see. Dang, where did my screenshot start? Okay. Someone said, sorry, Erica. I hated it, respectfully. Same, Erica. Sorry, girl. It was terrible. It's like Dexter, but hornier. Yeah. Finish this book, and at what cost? You lost brain cells, didn't you? And you lost time you cannot get back. It's not worth it. I'm not gonna read this whole one, but it said, I wish I was getting murdered instead of reading this book. In fact, I wish I couldn't read at all. Sometimes if you're like, wow, what a time to be alive and be literate. Like, oh, I wish I had a physical copy so I could throw it in the fireplace. I have a lot of concerns. I have a lot of questions and a lot of concerns. I'm actually upset I paid for a new physical copy of this. Same, because I did too. And for what? I am traumatized. I am traumatized. Kill me now, please. This series is called the Ruinous Love Trilogy because it ruined my love of reading. It'll do that.
It is so bad, I want to give you a 0, but that's not possible. So I give you a 1.
If you know, you know. Also, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Ugh. Is everyone being held at gunpoint to act like this book is good? What the fuck? No, really. Sometimes I can read something and be like, okay, I can understand why other people liked it, but this, I did not get it. Writing, abysmal. Characters, terrible. Plot, awful. Story, garbage. Thanks, I hate it. Same friend. Written at a 3rd grade reading level, there's just no build-up. Right off page, one of the characters were already in love, and the dialogue was just awful. I rolled my eyes so many times in such a short period of time, it gave me a migraine. 3rd grade reading level is generous. The most draggy, useless, nonsensical book I've ever willingly read. I don't know why I put myself through this, but I wanted to switch genres for a little. I'm never doing that again. You know, sometimes you try to step outside your comfort zone and it's ruined by stuff like this. I DNF'd it, so I didn't get to this part, but it said him slurping his own cum out of her kuka and spitting it into her mouth is where I draw the line. Nobody likes that. Now, I'm not here to kink shame, so I'm sure somebody does like that, but I'm like, oh. It's valid to close the book when you don't like it. It's valid to shut that book. The male main character fucked the protagonist while in a dragon onesie. I'm putting that out there. I don't know how I feel about that. But that was the last one I had. Again, I just thought these were funny. And And of course, since I didn't enjoy most of the books, it's always fun to look. I love, especially when I don't like a book, I love looking at 1 and 2 star reviews on Goodreads. Like, it makes me feel good. Some books that I've despised, years later, I will still go back and see if there's any updated reviews for me to read. I do it with King of Scars. Yeah, I do that often. I go back and I'm like, are there any more updated reviews? Especially if I'm like, why are all of y'all rating it like this? I go to see us rare people who with sense. I go try to check out those reviews. It just brings me joy reading a long ass review with bold and italices and gifs. Ah, chef's kiss. So do you ever do this? And again, if I love a book, like a book that I will take no slander on, I don't look at those reviews. But sometimes I can enjoy a book and still look at those. I don't, and then if I hate the book and I look at 5-star reviews, I just be confused. I'm like, what? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it and had a laugh. If you loved any of these books, you know, we just don't have the similar taste. It's fine. You know, you could be wrong. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed, hydrated, moisturized, and sunscreen. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.